I'm an historian of the 19th century United States, and I specifically look mostly at legal history, the history of women and gender, and the history of sexuality. Those are my main areas of interest, broadly speaking. I just completed my dissertation earlier this year, and what I did was I looked at how race and gender was constructed in the 19th century United States and how it came to be embedded in the legal and political systems. And I did that using infanticide cases as a lens for doing so. So I basically looked at how women who committed the crime of infanticide, how that changed over time throughout the 19th century United States. And I specifically chose infanticide because it was a crime that only women could commit. Basically, I plan to extend that research and revise the research I did for my dissertation. Initially, I'm going to look at publishing a few articles, and then I'm going to revise it into a book. I had many years ago done an honors thesis on Toni Morrison's Beloved, which was a 1987 Pulitzer Prize-winning novel about infanticide, and it focused on an enslaved woman who committed infanticide. And I was intrigued by the idea of, well, how many enslaved women really did commit infanticide. I started looking at the records in North Carolina, which is where I was going to university, and from there I extended it out and began to look in Connecticut and Illinois as well. And I just wanted to sort of, in some ways, test this idea that whether or not enslaved women were the main people who committed infanticide. And once I began to discover that that was not, in fact, that they weren't the main culprits, if you like, or the main perpetrators, how were all women who committed infanticide being treated by the legal system, and how did that change over time?